Teenage drinking and driving is a serious concern for everyone, especially parents. Recently, South City High School students learned why in a program called Every 15 Minutes. Stay tuned.
In January, it's so nice, blossoming on sliding ice. To sip hot chicken soup with rice, sipping once, sipping twice, sipping chicken soup with rice. In a ride away, forest and on day, and dream about my soup all day. Oh my once, oh my twice, eating chicken soup with rice, chicken soup with rice.
Hi, I'm Bruce Grantham, and welcome to Our Children, Our Future, a program about education and the South San Francisco Unified School District. Just prior to prom season, juniors and seniors at South San Francisco High School experienced firsthand the impact and potential tragedy of drinking and driving when they participated in a program called Every 15 Minutes. Sponsored and organized by the South San Francisco Police and Fire Departments with the help of many community players, several students participated in a role play and reenactment of a tragic and fatal drinking and driving accident. The scenario was filmed by KM2 Productions and viewed by the entire 11th and 12th grade class. Let's watch this dramatization now.
Welcome. The South San Francisco Police and Fire Departments have prepared a dramatization of an accident scene involving someone who's driving under the influence.
Over 41% of the motor vehicle accidents that occur each year in the city of South San Francisco involve persons driving under the influence. Of particular concern are those young adults under age 21 who drive under the influence.
The police department is very diligent in our enforcement efforts against those people who do drive under the influence in order to prevent personal injury and death. Those of you who do drive under the influence will go to jail.
Life is about making the right decision. We hope that you will.
Don't drink and drive.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He leads me beside the green pastures, besides the still waters. He restores my soul, brings me comfort in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all of the days of my life.
It's a sad day today for students of South San Francisco High School as they gather here at the Colma Cemetery to say goodbye to a friend and classmate who was killed in a tragic accident.
The students who were injured in the same incident are here as well.
I can't believe I'm here. I never thought this would happen. We were all so happy that night. We were just having fun. But I tried to stop them. I really tried to tell them not to do it. But what could I do? They just wanted to have some fun.
Witnesses say these four students, who are good friends, organized the party that led to the accident. Allie is the captain of the South San Francisco High School basketball team. Maria is described by family and friends as the life of any party. Teachers describe Joey as a quiet and average student who never got into trouble. Trevor is a straight A student. Before the accident, school officials named him class valedictorian.
We've been friends for a long time. We had great times growing up together. These years were the best times of our lives. I wasn't expecting alcohol at the party. And frankly, I've never even had a drink in my life. guess there's a first time for everything. One trial is enough for me. Then Maria handed Joey a beer. Joey's never had alcohol before. Joey and Ale really got into it.
1, 2, 3. Let's go somewhere else. There's more drinks and we'll party on. Look, yeah! I'm driving. Come on, let's go.
And you know we don't give up, cause that's your birthday. You'll find me in the club, bottle full of bub, mama, I got what
They were going too far, acting crazy and showing off. I couldn't stop them. They had too much to drink.
you can find me in the club, bottle full of bub, mama, I got what you need. You need to fill the bars, come in and have a seat.
Now, an emergency. Oh my God, I'm here at the high school and there was just an accident. Which high school? South City High School. There was these two guys in one car and the one driver in the other car just went into the crowd and hit somebody, a pedestrian. They went through the windshield. So a pedestrian was hit? Yes. Okay. All right, calm down, ma'am. We have the ambulance en route and the police are on their way.
Katina Bush, come. You have been called.
Katina was killed by a drunk driver today, 3 months before her 18th birthday, while on her way to South San Francisco High School. Katina was a genuine, caring, and outgoing young lady. All of her friends and family are going to miss her dearly.
Alex Frisbee, come. You have been called.
Alex was killed on April 25, 2006 by a drunk driver on his way to high school. Alex was a junior at South San Francisco High School. He had a great passion for life. He played football and had a love of history. Alex had a great gift for helping others. He was a great brother, friend, and son. He'll be deeply missed.
Joanne Moya, come. You have been called.
Joanne Moya was killed while on her way to school on April 24, 2006 by a drunk driver. Words cannot describe the loss experienced by those who knew and loved her. Joanne, Mom and Dad love you. You're our guardian angel.
Kaiser Rescue 63 is en route, code 3, with about a 7-minute ETA. On board we have a male, approximately 18 years old.
Maria was arrested by South San Francisco police. Tests showed that her blood alcohol level exceeded .08. She was brought to police headquarters charged with driving under the influence of alcohol. Two of the victims were rushed to Kaiser Hospital.
She probably broke her neck. She has good sensation in her upper extremities and her upper body, but everything below the waist, she's basically paralyzed. She may be paralyzed for the rest of her life from the waist down. Sorry. Okay, there's no response here.
The doctor told us that our son was in a severe car accident and he had been drinking, and the person he got into the car with had been drinking as well. Please, talk to your kids. Tell them how bad it is for drinking and driving. Talk to your children. They'll let this happen to you.
Another South San Francisco High student, Trevor, was involved in the accident. Police say during the collision, one of the cars swerved and hit Trevor. Paramedics were unable to revive him. He died at the scene of the accident.
Joey was too young to die. And Ale, she could never play basketball again after those injuries. Maria might go to prison just because of one stupid night. So I died that night too. I had just one drink, and I wasn't even in the car.
We're burying our son today because of a drunk driving incident. If you have the opportunity to communicate with your children and open the door so that they can call you instead of getting into the car drunk or with a drunk driver, take the opportunity and talk to your children.
Very real, very powerful, and very sobering, and no pun intended in that. With me to talk about the impact of every 15 minutes are Ryan Siebers, assistant principal at South San Francisco High School, Maria Takapu, a senior and one of the actors in the accident, and Jill Marcucci, mother of one of the students who was playing one of the actors in the accident. That wasn't easy to watch again, was it? It's no easier the second time or the third time or the fourth time, I'm sure. Thank you for coming on with me to talk about this very important topic in this program. Ryan, the accident and the rescue efforts that we just saw were staged for the 11th and 12th graders on a Monday, and then the following day on a Tuesday, the students, the parents who were involved, and invited guests came to an assembly. What were the key components about that assembly the next day?
Yeah, we wanted to really make it just a continuation of the first day. So we were going for maximum impact, a way to really embed this message into our students' minds. So we tried to vary the content. So we started with a music video, actually, that was played just after the students had seated. And the primary focus of that was to show them the impact upon families and sort of the ripple effect of the impact that a drunk driving accident has. So we went from that into a funeral procession, and we had all of our students involved, the students that participated in the program, walked with the coffin to the stage area.
Through the assembly? Through
the assembly. Students saw the casket actually being brought in, and then we actually had a funeral ceremony take place with a chaplain. So the students could then see everyone that was involved. Following that, we had some very powerful speakers. We had Bob Pack and members of the Klotzbach family give some very powerful speeches. Both families lost children in drunk driving accidents, and I think that again was a way to really solidify and reinforce that message with our students. We also had some words from Lieutenant Brosnan following the speeches. And he really wrapped it up with a very heartfelt message. So I think that everyone there really felt the impact of this program.
I was going to ask you another question, but I want to get to Maria on something right away because the film brought it up. Maria, not only did you participate in this simulated accident, but you were the responsible one, the one responsible for the accident in the sense that you were a drunk driver and responsible for a fatality. How did that affect you? What was it like going through that for you?
I thought at first it'd be like, it'd be easy. I would just run through, just act it. But during like the scenes, it was really hard. It felt real. Like, it felt like I was the person that killed them.
When did that hit you?
Watching the video.
Now they handcuffed you. They took you down to the police station. They booked you, the whole 9 yards. What did that feel like?
Felt really weird, scared.
Felt real?
Yeah, it felt real.
Never want to be in that situation?
No.
Mrs. Marcucci, what role did your son, Trevor Gober, play in the accident?
He was a bystander, basically killed by the crash. So he was the one going through the windshield.
And he was the one kind of doing the student narration and
yes.
From a
yes.
kind of a surreal, kind of a distant thing.
Mm-hmm.
What was the impact of that experience? I know while we were watching it, I mean, you really had a visceral reaction and the tearing up, and you were very uncomfortable with it, and understandably so. I mean, this is a parent's worst nightmare. I mean, I'm a parent. Siebers is a parent. You know, to get that phone call, to get somebody knocking at your door, you know, late at night, whatever it might be. What was the experience like for you and your husband and the family?
It was extremely emotional. I mean, my husband and I didn't think that we were going to react the way we did. We were kind of joking and laughing beforehand, and when the chaplain and the police officer showed up at the door, we almost got tunnel vision. We just saw them, we were paying attention, and when we saw our son lying there, it just really hit home.
And then again at the morgue.
Oh, it was awful. It was terrifying. He didn't respond. He really was dead. I mean, we tried everything to get him to.
Students did a heck of a job. They were too real in this, you know, in watching them do this. What's Trevor's reaction been to this? Can you talk about it?
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of an open forum at our house, and I think that Trevor is not only looking at the possibility of, okay, if I drink, something could happen, but also if I'm associated with people that are drinking, I need to be aware.
He was an innocent bystander.
Absolutely.
Had a drink.
Yes.
Finally coached him into drink, but he
Yes.
was off to the side and got hit. He wasn't even in the car.
Yeah.
And that could happen to anybody.
Made him much more aware.
That could happen to anybody. Maria, what was the reaction among your friends after they'd seen you do this and gone through this, and they'd gone through the assembly the next day? What was the reaction among your friends to all of this?
Well, at first they were like, "Oh, I can't believe you did that. Like, you're such a bad person." And then half of my other friends were like, "Oh, like, I can't believe you went through this." And they felt really sorry for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then like the other kids are just joking around with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about the impact of I'm sure, this is not typecasting. You're not a drinker and a driver or a partier that way. But what about, I'm sure you know students who do, and do you think this might help to curtail some of that and might have them think a second time, give their keys to somebody else?
Yeah, definitely. Don't know. They'll like think twice about getting into a car with a drunk person or behind the wheel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Let's hope so, huh?
Let's
hope so. You definitely know.
Yes.
And you're going to say something about it, and everybody else who was in the program is definitely going to say something about it. All those actors are going to say something about it, because I'm sure it impacted them very strongly about this. Ryan, the proms have come and gone, junior prom, senior ball. Do you notice any change in the student behavior? Or?
I'd have to say that students in general, we hear them talking about it. We see them wearing the T-shirts from the program that were handed out at the very end of the assembly. Mm-hmm. We hear about students having discussions in classes where they're raising the issue, and their awareness is very apparent. But I would say that if you look at events like the junior prom, the senior ball, not having any alcohol-related issues, incidents of any kind, obviously that says something to the impact of the program.
So there were none?
There were zero.
Ms. Marcucci, if you had an opportunity to say something to parents who are viewing, what would you say?
Again, I'd have to reiterate, talk to your children, leave the line of communication open. It's really important to have dinner with your kids every night, know what they're up to, know who they're hanging out with, and let them know that you've made mistakes in your lifetime and it's okay for them to communicate and call you whenever they need you.
We've run out of time. Thank you very much. A very important program, and thank you for coming on and sharing your reaction to it. Bruce Grantham for Our Children, Our Future. See you next time.